So thank you very much for coming. But unfortunately, I have to apologize for you guys. So today's session, we invited the Noha from the NEOM project, but she cannot participate in this session. So today, we would like to, deep dive the Jakarta's, Yudi-san. So we can, welcome Yudi-san. So we try to deep dive in, what the Jakarta City's achievement. So thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
So before our session starts, so I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Yuta Hirayama. I'm project lead of the Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution Awarding Forum, and I'm leading the G20 Global Smart City Alliance, which is kind of the city hub. Like, we provide many model policies to the cities, and city officers can participate in our project, and then, they can learn a lot of things from the, learn from each other. So that's what we are doing. And last year, so Indonesia, Jakarta City, have a hosted city of the U20 event, and we met. And at that time, I saw the, Yudi-san's presentation, and I'm so excited. I mean, this is very fantastic. So compared to the other, all over the world, I think Jakarta City's approach is one of the most advanced, project. So I think so that's why, I invited Yudi-san today, and we try to, discuss what the, advanced, city, technology is. So maybe I don't need to introduce myself anymore. So I'd like to hand over to you, Yudi-san, please.
Well, thank you, Yuta, for your great introduction. I think, as Yuta mentioned, that we met last year during the U20 summit, and we discussed a lot about how we build like sustainability city, like the theme to the discussion during the City-Tech technology. And first of all, I would like to, on behalf of the government, Jakarta City government, I would like to thank you for the governor of Tokyo to invite us to share about Jakarta experience, especially when how we used technology to engage citizens, how we can make our citizen involved in the building a city or smart city. I think we I would like to share some point about. Can I stand up?
Of course.
Yeah.
And you can have that,
Yeah. Okay. Today, as Yuta mentioned, that talking about smart city is not about smart city, sustainable city is same thing. When we talk about smart city, it's not only about the technology. Smart city is about people. And the focus on smart city, how our initiative can elaborate or engage participants, how we can also make a collaborative ecosystem to part any entities, because when we're talking about smart city, it's not about the government itself, but it's about the ecosystem, other partner, co-creator, citizen, industry, university. That's talking about smart city. So looking at what is smart city is about people. In this context, we built, I think during the pandemic, thanks to pandemic, because otherwise it's very difficult to accelerate digital transformation in Jakarta. Because thanks to pandemic, we built our digital platform to provide interaction for our citizen. Our citizen can communicate with the government. So that's come with Jakarta Kini. In English, it's Jakarta Now or Jaki that Yuta mentioned. So we built Jaki because of pandemic, because during the pandemic there is restriction, so the limited mobility, social distancing, and so forth and so forth. And we built Jaki as a government platform as a services. Because Jaki or Jakarta Kini, one of the initiatives that implement smart city, because smart city is about people. How we provide interaction between citizen to the government, what we call digital government, citizen to business, what we call digital economy, and citizen to citizen, what we call digital society. Now, looking at the problem, I think this problem is not only Jakarta problem, but it can be, but I think I would say it can be any problem for every city in the world. Looking at many data. Because now smart city, we have data, but data is scattered. Like looking at Jakarta problem or Jakarta experience. So we have around 46 city departments under Jakarta city government. I don't know about the Tokyo metropolitan city, but under Jakarta city government, we have 46 city departments. Every city department, they have their own data. And then when they have data, they create their services. And after that, they build application. Imagine that if one city department, they have their own application for public services. Every citizen have to download more than 56 applications to access public services. I don't think my phone, even your phone, a smartphone or any kind of high-tech phone, not able to download more than 56 applications to access public services. That's the problem. It's not efficient for citizens, but also it's costly for the government because government have to invest more money for each department. But the problem is data is not scattered, data is scattered, data is not integrated. Because when looking at smart city, how we can make life easier? Because smart city is about innovation for happiness. Make it everything simple. Make it everything based on the user need. Make it everything is easy, simpler from birth to death and something like that. So this is our problems. Of course, we in Jakarta, I think yesterday we discussed about population comparing Jakarta and Tokyo. In Jakarta, we have like around 11 million. I think compared with Tokyo is around 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 is quite similar. But I think this is something that how we can provide better services to our citizens. Of course, by having this problem, of course, decrease the quality of the public services. And how we can, what kind of innovation we made it. So as I mentioned that smart city is about innovation for happiness. So JAKI, Jakarta Kini, as an ecosystem. So as I mentioned that JAKI is about people, how we can provide digital platform. Because as citizens, we need a platform, we need a space. Now we have space to communicate with each other, to interact with each other, to collaborate with each other. I think during the City-Tech.Tokyo, this is a platform. I can talk with Yuta, I can talk with Reiko, and I can collaborate with some companies, some startup. Startup can invest, some investor can invest for certain startup. This is platform. As a government, we need to provide the platform to our citizens because we need to be adapted. So therefore, JAKI has come in. We provide the platform for our citizens. People connecting to the government, what we call digital government. How do we integrate all the public services into one-stop services from birth to the death? And also, we need to provide a platform for our citizens to interact with business, industry, startup. And also, we need to provide a platform for our citizens to connect to other citizens. Because if we have neighbors, sometimes people living in the city, they never talk with the neighbors. They never talk. I think in Jakarta or probably in Tokyo. But as a government, how we build a platform for citizens can communicate with other citizens. That's about smart city, because smart city is about people. This is something that how we build the digital platform. When we're talking about digital platform, it's not about the application. Digital platform is about how we can make our citizens easy to access all the public services and so forth and so forth. And there is 3 components that need to be considered when we build digital application or digital platform. One is about digital identity. It's about authentication. Same thing. When we come to this platform, when we come to this building, someone asks you to show your pass, to show your ID, it's about because to make sure that who you are. So when same thing, similar analogy. When we have a digital platform, of course, authentication, digital ID, what you have, what you know, and what you are. And the second thing is about notification. Because when we interact in digital space, it needs to be connected to the physical space. People talking about metaverse, people talking about digital twin, it's same thing, from my understanding.
Yeah.
And the second one, the third one is a payment. So because we interact, we collaborate, we participate in the digital platform, of course we need to, we can make also payment or something like that. So notification, payment, and digital identity to build digital platform or digital services. Now, looking at how we build the infrastructure, how we can make this innovation happen. So this kind of like technology, very simple. When you talk about smart cities, we need to have a data. When we have data, we can create any kind of services. City brain, because now at the moment data is scattered. It's very difficult when data is scattered. To integrate them is very difficult. So now the data is very scattered. Every department, every agency, they have their own data. They have a silo. The problem, the challenge is how we can move from silo to ecosystem. From silo to the ecosystem. Because talking about not silo, now it's about ecosystem. So this is very, looking at the, of course, on the infrastructure, we need infrastructure, but the most important is about data. Data need to be integrated. So data, when talking about the government, internal data, and also need also to integrate with the external data. When we have data, we can make a services. Back to the three scheme: digital government, digital economy, and digital society. For education, for health, for social affairs, for peace, public order, and something like that. So this kind of services we can make it when we have the data. Because when we have the data, then data is integrated, we can make those data into the API services. When we have API services, we can make any kind of application. We can make dashboard. We can make any kind of platform, application, web services, or anything. It's about data, service, application. Data, service, application, or presentation. Of course, when we build the digital infrastructure, we need security, because security is end-to-end for every layer. And also, as I mentioned, that we need the digital identity as authentication, we need a payment system, and also we need notification to make sure that you have also in line or connected to the physical space. So this is our Jaki architecture for under Jakarta Smart City architecture as guide for carrying out digital transformation. Because I think, again, I would like to thank you for the pandemic, because otherwise it's very difficult to accelerate digital transformation in Jakarta. Now, going to more detail about the architecture. So looking at, of course, are you going to put this kind of application on-premise? At the moment, yes, but now we are migrating to the cloud services to make sure that our services are reliable, resilient. Because now we have more than 5 million users have downloaded Jaki. So this is very important to make how the service can be resilient, can be available anytime. Because this is very important. Why Jaki? Because Jaki is basically migrating from government-centric to the user-centric. You know what government-centric means? Government-centric means that, okay, this services is open 9 to 5. Only 9 to 5 is government-centric. But when talking about the user-centric, can be open anytime. Not only 9 to 5. But now, therefore, when we talk about not only 9 to 5, we can open anytime. Of course, we need some infrastructure, robust infrastructure. Of course, we need cloud services to support the digital transformation in Jakarta. Of course, we have like data sources. Data is very important. How we can integrate all the data sources, and then by using technology, we can using platform as a services, identity management, to check who you are, what you have, or something like that. It's also, we can also using document processing to identify from manual to automatic process. And also we have a platform API management services. As you mentioned, that when we have data integrated, how we can make those data can be accessible for everyone. Because Jaki is a collaborative ecosystem. Jaki is not about government design service. Not only, Jaki is not about government design services, but also citizen design services. Because all the features in Jaki is not only built by Jakarta City government, but can be built by the startup, can be built by other citizens. So also about data analytics, something that, and also development tools. As a developer, for those who are developer, we need tool to build any kind of features that suitable for our citizen. And also about the process, how we can make automatic user authentication, and also analytic dashboard, also, and so forth and so forth. And we come up with services under the three scheme: digital services, digital government, digital economy, and digital society. And of course, presentation can be anything. Jaki, one of them, can be website, can be dashboard, can be anything, can be WhatsApp, for example, because now I saw some company, they also provide like chatbot or anything, but chatbot is useless if you don't have the data. So I think on the presentation side, it only matters if we have data integrated. So this is something that how we build the architecture based on the cloud services, because we need more robust infrastructure, more resilient, and so forth and so forth. And now how we build Jaki, because as we mentioned that to make it this initiative sustainable, it's not only based on the project, because sometimes, I mean, I think 5 years ago, people think about smart city is about project. But I think we changed the idea, the concept. Smart city is not about the project. Smart city is about ecosystem. Because when we thought that smart city is about project, it can be lapsed or can be done anytime. When people move to other department or other company, they collapse. So now we are making this kind of platform, how to make the ecosystem for Jaki, Jakarta Kini. Looking at Jaki as a platform, the provider, at the moment, the provider is Jakarta Smart City. We are a platform provider, and the owner itself is Jakarta City government. Who are the producer? The producer can be the internal government, but also can be other co-creators, including citizen, university, startup, and so forth and so forth. When they submit the feature to Jaki and they approve, and our citizen can access those kind of features. So this kind of how we can make stakeholder engagement, how we make Jaki as a collaborative platform ecosystem. To make this is sustainable, to make this is built on the organic way. Not only because of the leadership, but also because of citizen need. So this is something that how we create the player system for Jaki as a collaborative ecosystem platform. Now, I think we are open to collaborate to support Jaki. I think in Jakarta we have some unicorn. Let's say we have Tokopedia is not promoted, but I think I just want to mention that we have some unicorn. We have Gojek, we have Tokopedia, we have Bukalapak. Or those startups, not at the moment not startup anymore, but before they were startup. But now they are unicorn, and now they are one of the big digital company in Indonesia. Those platforms also replicated to other city or other country in ASEAN. Of course, Jaki as a government platform, we are open to collaborate to support Jaki as a government platform as a service in ASEAN or also Asia or Japan. So these kind of things that we are looking for. I think comparing with, I think most of us there's some application that also replicated to other city. I didn't mention the name, but I think just looking at the slide, they also build like a platform, mobility platform, and then other city replicate this platform and like white labeling scheme. And now, key takeaway, and what's something that need to be considered when we build the government platform as a services. One of the example is Jaki, Jakarta Kini. One about partnership and ecosystem. Partnership is a matter. Therefore, in Jakarta Smart City, we also collaborate with startup. We also working with European countries to support how we build a startup ecosystem. Because in the future, how we can make startup can be engine for public services. Because startup is intended to be a problem solver. So partnership is important. And also about ecosystem. When we talk about government service, it's not only about the government. We need to change our mind, how we can build the ecosystem. And the second one is about open data and API. This is matter, because in the future, how we can build like city brain or open data platform for the city, because when we have these kind of things, we can build any kind of services, platform, and so forth and so forth. And also about data and analytic capabilities. It's about data scientists, and the last one about vision for the future. By having this, we can also make predictive, make prediction, or make personalized services to our citizens. But having this also, we can also consider some like regulation, data privacy, or data protection, and so forth and so forth. That's this kind of takeaway: partnership and ecosystem, open data and API, data and analytic capabilities, and the last one is about the vision for the future. Of course, how to make the city sustainable, and also how we can solve the city problem, and the most important, to understand citizen need. Thank you. And this is the last one is our employee, our team behind Jakarta Smart City. We have around 200 people working with us. Most of them is like young, talented people, and working with us to support Jakarta Smart City to do some innovation for the happiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yudhistira. So after this, I would like to ask you the outcome. I mean, what the Jakarta impact to the citizens. So this slide is more easy to understand for the people. So could you explain about that?
Yeah.
Of course, you can drink water.
Well, I think this is a kind of slide, so make it the impact. Because like when we do some innovation cannot be, it's not only innovation not only is for the very high-tech technology, very complicated. Innovation need to have an impact to the society.
Yeah.
Understanding citizen needs, solving the problem, and seizing the opportunity, and putting the value on the livelihood. Like, so for example, one is about Jaki. Before Jaki, we have to report, to report any kind of problem from citizen. We need like more than a day to report to the government. And sometimes we don't know how the government can follow up our problem. We have to ask the governor, we have to ask the permanent secretary, we have to ask people working inside. But by having Jaki, by doing this, we just need like 1 to 3 minutes to report any kind of problem. And then we can also tracking when the process is already done, when the follow-up has been made by city government official. So we don't need to know the governor. We don't need to know the permanent secretary. So by using Jaki, the submission process is converted from 1 day to 2-3 minutes. And also about resolution time. Normally when I make any kind of report to the government, the average resolution time is more than 2 weeks. But now, by using Jaki, our online citizen reporting, online less than 1 day. And then for about the completion report that has been done by the city official before Jaki is around 55%. But now, by building Jaki, we can increase the resolution success rates around 75% completion. So in Jaki, we have many features. One is about online citizen reporting. Why we start with online reporting? Because first of all, we want to build the trust because we want to show our citizens, we are, as a government, we are working for you. We are working to solve your problem. So the first thing, we want to build the trust. So therefore, Jaki is come in for the JAK-Lapor, our online citizen reporting. And also to support the business license and permit. In Jaki, prior the system for submission process is we need like for 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, around 2 weeks. But by having Jaki less than 1 day, and also in Jaki during the pandemic, people get the vaccine jab or something like that. COVID vaccine job, we have to register. Sometimes we don't know when we get confirmation or when we get invitation from the government or from the health services. But by having Jaki, you just need 3 to 5 minutes to get confirmation to take a vaccine job. So this kind of the impact value is a public value that we have. This kind of innovation.
Yeah, great, thank you. So this is definitely, very makes sense for the citizens in download the app. Usually, the many government produce or provide a lot of apps, but many citizens doesn't want to download that, right? So I want to ask you, so how many users do you have now? And
yeah, I think this is, at the moment, we have more than 5 million users have download Jaki.
Okay, so the Jakarta City, whole Jakarta City citizens is around 11 million?
Yeah, 11 million.
Approximately 50%.
50%.
Okay.
So actually within, 1 or 2 years.
I think this is very great, right? So only the 1-2 years, and then, you can get 5 million, download is kind of, great app, right? So
and also we didn't take any push to people to download this app. It's about because we just want to make Jaki growing as an organic way, because when they need it, they use Jaki.
So definitely this is very succeeded, but do you have any goal about all the citizens, should be download this app or?
Yeah, I think, of course, looking at the number of population, we have 11 million. So of course, our targeted all the citizens have to have a Jaki as a platform from birth to death, from wake up to sleep. So every day they need Jaki. Then it's a Jaki as your partner, your wife, or your spouse, or something like that. And this is and also I just want to bear in mind that Jaki is not only intended for Jakarta City government, Jakarta citizen, but also can be used by other Jakarta citizens.
I can use that?
Yeah, if you come to Jakarta, you can also use Jaki for certain purposes, because in Jaki we have 3 levels of authentication. Level 1, you don't need to be, you just download it and you can use any kind of services. You don't need to log in. Level 2, you need to log in if you want to make any kind of report to the government. Of course, it can be used by Jakarta citizen and also non-Jakarta citizen. But in level 3, must be Jakarta citizen, because level 3, we provide you a digital ID, we provide you a citizen account. So to see what to see your personalized services, because in Jakarta we only have Jakarta citizen data. So only for Jakarta citizen data we can provide a citizen account or digital identity.
So how can you define this is the right person or not right person? I mean, the citizens or not? I mean, if I have an address, but I don't have any citizenship or right. So for example, is it putting the number or something or?
No, I think as under the business process that we have, we only recognize for the level 3. So only level 3 we connected to our database. We connected to our database to make sure that they are Jakarta citizen. For level 2 and 3, you can use any.
Okay, great. So you mentioned this app makes cost savings. This means as a city office, so they can reduce any work, right?
Yeah.
So this is very great, but do you have any data of the process? I mean, how to reduce their work? Or, I mean, this app is definitely the great, but you have the 220 staff, right?
Yeah.
And engineers, so you directly hired, and
Yeah.
this is amazing actually. So you are like a startup CEO.
Yeah.
Because
Well, actually, yeah, we consider we are the startup government.
Yeah, but on the other hand, this means you are using a lot of money. I mean, so that you pay them salary to that engineers, right? But the business model, I mean, this is government app, so you don't need business model. However, if you have many costs, I mean, you pay a lot. So maybe the parliament will criticize or something, or I don't know, the mayor's leadership, is very needed. Or so this, what is the how to managing and how to expanding this app? So
yeah, I think again, thanks to pandemic, before the pandemic, our team is not big as now. I think it's around 90 people working with us, but because during the pandemic we are pushed to provide the better services to our citizens. Therefore, we need to build like a digital platform to support the city goals.
Yeah.
And therefore, we need more power, we need more resources. One of them is the people. Mm-hmm. Because as I mentioned that smart city is not about technology, smart city is about the talent. It's about the people itself. And normally, people working with us is people who care about the city itself, because they're not really. Some of them they're not intended to get high salary, because they're working with us because they care about the city. They care about how to make city better and better in the future. Yeah. I think when you're talking about the governor and the parliament, because Jakarta Smart City is not ad hoc project. Jakarta Smart City is an organization. So we have like a proper organization, what we call the regional public services, because we are only one of the public service who looking at the building smart city ecosystem in Jakarta. Therefore, when we have a program, because in a very simple way, when you have program and then not money follow the program. There's a simple term. Yeah. Not money follow the program, but when we have a program, and then money follow the program.
So on the other hand, there are so many apps, the government provide, but usually, the government is just, write down the architecture or such kind of things, and the provider will be offer to that project, and then take some money or budget, and then develop that. But you are doing by yourself, right?
Yes, yeah, I think. So, I think that's a good point, because before, I think every agency, I think I mentioned 56 departments, they have their own developer, but sometimes the developer is not accredited, not the standard is below our developer, and the skill is also different. They hire their own developer. Every department they hire, they have their own developer. They have their own IT staff. But sometimes in Indonesia, it's very difficult to get the best talent. I think right now we have a talent as a talent pool, and then the city department need to focus on the business process. This is something the way that. Currently, we are working on this, because before every city department they have their own developer. Frankly speaking, they ask Jakarta Smart City to test them to get into it. Let's say before, okay, could you help me? Could you help me to hire a developer to work with us, something like that? Because before it's very scattered. Now we are working on it, and this is kind of like Jakarta Smart City as a kitchen staff to make everything happen. But the most important is about the data. Data need to be integrated first.
Yeah, that's a great point. So definitely, silo issue is in Japan is also, totally we are struggling. And even maybe Tokyo Metropolitan Government, they are struggling to, each division is each data and, it's not connecting. So when we try to make a, city OS or, urban data platform, or we try to develop something like that, but the point is like, each division, they don't want to submit any data. I mean, only the open data can, providing, but the open data's, level is not so high. So we have a lot of, issue here. This app is very, interesting, and I'm very excited, to expanding this project. So yeah, great. Lastly, would you speak something to, Tokyo Metropolitan Government people, or, the participants from the startup or, private sector, or so all of the. So.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway, I think building the apps is not enough.
Yeah.
Because we still like keep working, understanding citizen need. I think my suggestion, always understanding citizen need. So converting from the government-centric to the user-centric, understanding citizen needs, solving the problem, and sizing the opportunities. When we talk about sizing the opportunities, it's not only about the government. You need to talk with the startup. You need to talk with the industry. You need to talk to anyone. And then putting the value on the livelihood. How to make this kind of innovation can be part of the daily life. That's the important. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So our session is finished, and if you have a time later, after that, I have another session in the, I don't know where, but the lobby gallery one. So if you have your time, please come there. And so thank you very much for coming. Unfortunately, the Noha-san cannot come here, but I think we can learn from a lot of things from the Yudi-san. So lastly, please applause to Yudi-san. Thank you very much.